It is December 29th and I'm on my way home from work. Correction, on my way to town. Gonna go to AutoZone and get some stuff looked at for my car. I'm taking the long way because, well, look at it. Why not? Why would I not take the long way when it looks like this? I don't want to drive through all this boring stuff. I want to drive through stuff like this that's really pretty and scenic. But I'm gonna go check out some stuff for my car in town at AutoZone. New power steering reservoir, hopefully, possibly, don't know. I'm kind of getting comfortable with no power steering. I need to get my front end looked at before anything though, because this car shakes and wanders around the road so violently. And I don't know if you hear that noise, the little yeah, it's not supposed to do that, so that's not a great thing. But with the possibility of me moving to another part of Tennessee here fairly soon, like within the next couple weeks, called Johnson City, Tennessee, which is 500 miles away from Lawrenceburg, where I'm at right now, I want to make sure I get this car looked at and everything else before anything. Oh, icicles. Wow. Sorry, I got really distracted. But I want to get the car looked at before I go to Johnson City, because taking a 500-mile drive in a car with no power steering and severe front end issues is not going to be fun. Yeah, I did a 600-mile drive from Florida to Tennessee, but I had power steering and it didn't have as many issues as it has now from driving on pothole-filled Tennessee back roads, because Tennessee is not very good at taking care of their back roads. Well, the paved back roads. The dirt ones are actually better off than the paved ones, funny enough. But as you can see, Tennessee is... I didn't get rid of this spot in the windshield, but Tennessee is absolutely beautiful. This drive would be even better if I didn't feel like I was going to die in about 10 seconds from this car going... But it's alright. Pretty soon, if this company I work for ever gives me a day off, I'm going to give my car its own little relax spa day, I guess you can call it. This car does a lot for me, and it is very reliable, so I'm going to take a day or two or more, however long I have, off of work whenever I can get off, and I'm going to go through every single piece of the car. I'm going to go through every single piece of the car. I'm going to clean the car out, like detail clean. I'm going to go through the whole entire motor, look through everything, any little thing that needs to be fixed, or oil that needs to be replaced, or any fluids that need to be topped up, replaced, whatever. I'm going to make sure are perfect. That way I can make sure this car is perfect. It's just been kind of hard to do lately because I work 6 days a week, upwards of 22 hours a day or more. I get one day off, which I usually spend catching up on everything I missed throughout the whole week, including sleep. Which is another reason why I moved to Johnson City to get away from this job. Because this town, there's not really much for jobs. I've been doing a lot of research on Johnson City, and there's a ton of stuff there that would be great. And it's right in the Appalachian Mountains, or well, right nearby, and it's right near Virginia. And I want to get the car fixed up really nice and good because I want to take a trip to West Virginia within the next year or two, so I can show my grandmother who watches my videos West Virginia. Because a long time ago, she built a log cabin up there. And even though that log cabin's not there anymore, they built it by hand, but even though it's not there anymore, I'm sure she would still love me to go to West Virginia and see West Virginia like she's been telling me she wants me to do. So it's one of my bucket list goals is to go to West Virginia. Whether it's with this car or a different vehicle, I want to go to West Virginia. But anyway, welcome back. It is Monday, January 2nd. Giving my car a little look over right now. I had to use my car for an emergency situation 2 days ago. A very good friend of mine, her dog choked and pretty much was dying, and I used my car to get it to a vet over in Florence. And I put this car through a lot. Let's just say I turned an hour trip into a 20-minute trip. This car did as well as it could have done. Nothing broke on the car, thankfully, but it did make some of the problems I've already had with the car a little worse. Such as a horrible, horrible vibration from the front end. So I'll be getting that checked over very soon. But in the meantime, I've been going through all of my fluids and my engine and seeing and making sure nothing's broke. Then today while driving through town, I noticed my headlight was a lot looser than it's been. For those who don't remember, I hit a deer and it bent this in, messed up this whole entire panel. This whole entire quarter panel is pretty much destroyed. And I still have yet to replace the panel, but I don't know if I'm going to or not. But it rattled the headlight completely off the car, and I got popped back on there, but the inside of my headlight is missing these pieces now, which I'm hoping are not extremely important. But my headlight still turns on, I just don't have a blinker. So I'm gonna have to get a whole new headlight here, and if I get a whole new headlight here, I'm probably just gonna replace this other one. Then the same day, whenever I have off of work, if I ever have time off of work and I have the time to do this, I'm gonna bend this panel back out. Take out the wheel well liner, take a hammer or something and bend this back out too. I'm probably gonna have to get a whole new plastic guard for this and possibly a new bumper, I don't know. But I also went through the car and took some flat black spray paint, and hard to see here, but I redid all that plastic. I also redid my spare tire, and I colored the 3 lug nuts that are on the spare tire red with the same spray paint I used on the car itself. But I got the whole rear end looking really nice. This is what the plastic looks like originally without the spray paint on it. I also got my new hazard stripe all the way along the bottom of the car, which is reflective too. And I also redid this little clip here. It never gets used, so I just repainted it with cheap spray paint because it never gets used because this window is broke. This windshield wiper needs to be replaced as well. It is currently disintegrating. And as of the other day, my shrimp windshield wiper is held together with zip ties until I can afford to get a new one, because that whole piece broke off of the arm itself. And these are probably 10-year-old windshield wipers, I'm guessing, but they still do the job, but I am getting them replaced. I also redid the whole front bumper with that spray paint, and then accidentally broke my Honda logo off, so I just spray painted it red, super glued it back on there, so now I have a red logo on the front. My car also officially reached 270,000 miles on Christmas, and between Christmas Day and January 2nd, I have traveled 570 miles, and that's just in the town of Lawrenceburg. So in the time I've owned the little 43 here, any damage and everything that's gone wrong with the car, thankfully, has been on the exterior. Unfortunately, it's been with the whole driving capabilities, but it has never broken down on me. This little car has been tough and never broken down on me. It's just kind of showed me some of the little issues she has. But I know with some money and care, I can get that vibration to stop, get this quarter panel fixed, new headlights, and this car will be a dream to drive again. And the last thing for the news for today is possibly within the next couple of weeks, I am going to be moving to a whole nother part of Tennessee. I'll be moving out of Lawrenceburg, and we're going to be moving out of a place like this into the big city. It's going to be a big change, but we're going to a place called Johnson City, Tennessee, which is kind of the equivalent of like Wildwood, Florida, or Longwood, Florida. Lawrenceburg, going from Lawrenceburg to Johnson City is going to be a big change because Lawrenceburg is a tiny little town, and the part that we live in is very, very beautiful. But we're going to be moving to kind of a suburban area. Not a giant city, it's a city, but not a massive city like Nashville. It's like the equivalent of Longwood, Florida, or DeLand, Florida. It's a big enough city where they have a mall and every store you could ask for pretty much right within the vicinity of town. And my new job will be there in town as well. And with the possibility of a new job in town, it gives me the opportunity to give this car a break and get a mountain bike like I want to do. Start biking to and from work. Hopefully by tomorrow I'll have more details on when I'm moving, because once I figure out a deadline of when I'm moving, I know the deadline to get this car fixed, because it is a almost 8-hour drive from Lawrenceburg to Johnson City. And this little car just got done driving 600 something miles from Florida to here. I have the faith that she can do it all the way to Johnson City, but I want to make sure she's in good care and it's not going to kill me on the way up there.